Welcome to another episode of Echoes of Blue. Today I am with Dr. Naseem Zojwalla. She is the Chief Medical Officer at Olema Oncology. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Zojwalla.
Thank you, Shakti, for inviting me.
Of course. Let's get into questions. Can you talk about your educational background?
Sure. I am a medical oncologist by training. I trained in hematology oncology at Columbia a number of years ago. I was in academic practice for a short time, and then I did go and work in the pharmaceutical industry. So, been working in the pharmaceutical industry, biotech industry now for over 20 years. And I did have a faculty appointment for a short time at Columbia when I was living in New York City. But my full time career for the last 20 years has been in biotech and pharma.
So, what inspired you to get into this field? Like, what kickstarted your career journey?
So, when I was in training, I actually had the opportunity to, one of my mentors in fellowship was actually leading an oncology group at a pharmaceutical company, and so invited me to spend a few days with him. He ended up allowing me to do some consulting for the company, and then they offered me a full-time job. I really liked working in biotech pharma because I felt like I could make a bigger difference. You can have, at the time, the pharmaceutical industry was really, and biotech, and still to this day, does a lot of the cutting edge scientific research. And for me, it was a nice mix of business, science, medicine all together, and having a big impact on the field of oncology as opposed to, seeing patients day to day.
So, the company that you are at right now, what do you guys do? What is your mission?
So, Olema Oncology, our mission is breast cancer and beyond. Our lead asset is palazestrant. It's a complete estrogen receptor antagonist that is in development for patients with advanced stage breast cancer. So, we have multiple late stage phase trials ongoing. We also have an asset in early stage of development, which we are moving forward in breast cancer, but potentially could be moving forward in other cancers. So, really, the company is a women's health, breast cancer focused company right now. But as we grow the pipeline, we are considering going to other tumor types.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. Along your journey, your career journey, or your educational journey, have there been any significant challenges that you think have shaped your journey?
Yes, I think the hardest part of working as a physician and medical school trained, you really learn about patient care and the science of medicine, which is very important to my day-to-day job all throughout my career in pharma. I think the hard part and the challenge for people who move from academic medicine into the corporate world is learning about the corporate world and the business and managing people and teams. And it's very different from working in the hospital. There are teams that you manage, but the way you manage people, I think, is different in corporate America. And that was a big challenge to me. And it's in particular been a challenge over the last 4 years since I've been at Olema, because I started with a small team of about 10, 15 people, and now I have almost 100 people working for me. So,
That makes sense. That's a big shift in how how you'd handle things, how things go about. What would you say keeps you driving despite all these obstacles that you might even face on a day-to-day basis?
so I have a strong family history of breast cancer, and I actually have a personal history of breast cancer. So, to work in the breast cancer space is very personal and important to me, and to hear about the patients that come on our clinical trials and the impact we've made on their lives. I mean, that really keeps me going. And, soon we're going to have a potential to get a drug approved for breast cancer, and that could really change the whole landscape of how breast cancer is treated. And to me, that we really are making a difference for patients.
Mhm. That's really inspiring to hear. My grandpa actually passed away from breast cancer, so it's also very prevalent in my family. Would you say that there are any further improvements or innovations that you think the field still needs moving forward?
Yes, I think particularly in breast cancer. I mean, there's some recent data that actually just came out earlier this week
Mhm.
about the class of drugs that we work on, these complete estrogen receptor antagonists and selective estrogen receptor degraders. And this particular class of drugs is the new field of endocrine therapy. A lot of the treatments for breast cancer for endocrine sensitive disease have not really changed over the last 15 years. And these are new drugs that could potentially take over the space and be more efficacious in patients living with breast cancer. And that is a target that we are starting to hit based on some recent data that's come out, and could be, getting drugs approved in the space would be a real win for breast cancer patients.
That's really exciting to hear about. Reflecting on the journey that you've had, is there anything that you think you would do differently?
I'm really happy with my career choices. It's not how I expected my life to be. I thought when I
Mhm.
go to medical school, you're going to go into either academic medicine or private practice. And this opportunity to work in the pharmaceutical industry came up, and I really followed my instincts and my passion. And to me, it's been a great journey. I've
Mhm.
worked for a number of biotech companies. All of them have been acquired, showing the assets are valuable. Drugs have gotten approved. We've made an impact on patients. We've brought value to the sector. So, all of those things, I really feel like I've made such a big impact. And I don't know if I would do anything differently per se, but maybe learn about taking some more business school classes if I
Mhm.
had the opportunity. As I said, the shift into corporate America was
Mhm.
challenging at first for people coming out of medicine. And I think that might have been helpful.
Okay. Along those lines, if there was a student or just anyone who is in a position that you were maybe 10 years ago, is there a message or any piece of advice that you'd want to give to them?
Sure, I think follow your passion, do something that really fulfills you, makes you happy. If it's important to you to make an impact on the world, and how you make that impact can come in many different forms. Try not to get caught up in what you are supposed to do or you think you're going to do, and do what you really want to do. And understand people. I think it's very important in whatever job, personal relationships, business relationships, just understanding and working with people is really important to moving forward in your career.
I love that message. I think that's very encouraging. Thank you for sharing today and for giving us a glimpse into your educational, your career, and your personal, a little bit of your personal background. And yeah,
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your insightful questions and commentary.
thank you.